Welcome to Pigskin Platoon. So we're your hosts. I'm Boston.
And I'm Christian.
So we talk about it all. Dynasty offense and defense, who to start, who to sit. We also talk about trades, rumors, rookie drafts, and breaking news on players and coaches. Draft, deploy, dominate.
We have our tier list that we want to present to you guys that we've made. And so far, right now, as before the draft, we have a couple guys in each tier that we want to go over. And my first guy that I want to talk about is Sony Styles. And um, with Sony Styles, with his combine, he like came right out the gates, like showing what he can be as a top tier like edge slash linebacker. Um, he had a 4.46 at the combine, and it was a 97 grade. So I thought that was fantastic. And they got him projected at the first round mid, so that's excellent in my opinion. And they got him, you know, ranked as like a kind of similarities as of a Jack Campbell type linebacker, or Peyton Wilson type. What I see in this guy, from watching his tape, is he's very explosive and just quick to get to that ball. And then his stats, his career stats in college, speaks for itself. You know, he got 46 solo tackles in his 2025 career. For 2024, he had 49 solo tackles, and then 2023 he had 32 tackles. So it's almost like he kind of like rose up a little bit more each time. And each year that he played, except for the 2022 season, which I think that was just his like his rookie year of college. Um, but every year since then, he had one forced fumble in each year. He had one sack in his last year. He had six sacks in 2024, and he had two sacks in 2023. And then he had just one INT as well in 2025. So, I mean, this guy is like he's one of those guys that you want to have, especially in Dynasty. So this tier is just kind of like helping knowing where these guys are going to go in the NFL draft, and also keeping an eye out of like these top tier players that you want in your Dynasty league as well. And we will get more into that as well down the road when it gets closer to drafting season.
So David Bailey, this guy looks okay. So he's got a really good 40. He was four and a half, four and a half seconds was his 40. He's looking really good. He's a pass rusher, which I think kind of gives him that X factor for like a really good dynasty guy because he's not only is he going to line up as a linebacker, you can put him in as a defensive line guy here too. Really good on the line. His 2025 season with Texas Tech, he had a total of 52 total tackles, 32 solos, three forced fumbles, but he had 15 sacks that year. And you can kind of see how he's more like a defensive line guy. But I like the fact that he fills that multi-role position there.
Yeah. No, and David Bailey is definitely one of the the top three that are coming out this year. I really feel like this year is like going to be the linebacker season in rookie uh, picks. Just just going going through each of these players and seeing how well they do. They do really it really focuses more on the highlighting position this year of linebackers. Um, I, it's hard to know with how many players there are. It's hard to know who's going to be like the best coming out of this draft.
Mhm. We got really good depth in linebacker this year, so it's exciting to see how we got and how good they're going to do this year. I feel like a lot of offenses are really set up this year, so it's going to be a lot of focus on those guys on your defense to help put a stop to these high caliber offenses.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they give him comparison to Dallas Turner here. Um, they got him in a top 5 pick. He's great pass rusher, really good on coverage, and he's a great tackler. So I feel like whatever defense or whatever team he winds up on, he's gonna be in on every play as much as possible.
Yeah, definitely. I really liked watching him in college. I really liked watching his tape. That's why I agree with you on putting him in the S tier. It's going through, like I said before, going through a lot of these guys and seeing where they ranked at. You see how well their track record is in the last couple
Hmm.
years of college, and then you want to see that production continue and flow right into the NFL. And I that's where I think Sony Styles and David Bailey are gonna just be a plug and play. They're gonna fill right in, and then it's gonna be like natural to them.
Hmm.
Um, I don't think if they were in a weird situation or weird system, I don't think that they would lose or digress in the way that they uh, do things.
I agree. All right, we gonna move on to the A tier now?
Yeah, so now we got the A tier. Sorry, 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go into the A tier.
We have CJ Allen right off the bat there at the beginning.
Yes. Uh, did you want me to talk about him? I'm sorry.
I'll give him the stats. I'll let you talk a little bit more on him. He's got total tackles throughout his whole career is 205. He's got 10 pass protections, 4.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and he's got 1 INT with him. So he's a good multi-role linebacker.
Yeah, I mean, even his combine stats even talked about it as well, or showed it, as well of how well this
Hmm.
guy is. Very, very explosive, very versatile. That's why we ranked him in the A tier. Even though he's behind a couple of these other linebackers, but I think with the potential of him landing in a right system, like I feel like he's just gonna be another automatic, like good, successful linebacker as well. Um, he had a 4.55, like you said, and his tackling ability and his run defense, like, is his super strong suits. He's an A plus on them, both of those, and that's why like they're saying that he's gonna fall, into the late first round. That's fine with me. Fine with me.
Hmm.
Better for the better teams that made it into the later rounds or
Hmm.
into the later part of the first round. Yeah, I really like him. He could be a very good first year, second year possibly for any dynasty draft pick.
Yeah. So I like some of the stuff. Like he's got a really good wrap up and finish in his tackles. He takes on pulling guards and lead blockers and leverages and gets around them pretty easily. So it's going to be really cool. Like just watching a lot of his film, it shows.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it does it when it comes to like explosive plays, he
Hmm.
doesn't do anything flashy, but the the consistency that he has is really good.
Yes.
He's going to be there for every tackle. So, I mean, for dynasty perspective, he's going to get you the points. And for NFL purposes, he would be a good serviceable linebacker for any team that needs like that any of that kind of like run stopping abilities.
Hmm. For sure. For sure. And then we got Anthony Hill Jr. here. I really like this guy. he had a where was it? His 40 wasn't too bad. I mean, it was pretty good. It was a four and a half second. His vert was really good with the 37. He's really good at run stop defense for his position. He's a multi-role linebacker, so he's really good at the run stop. Really great for tackling, and that's going to be the biggest thing. You're going to get those guys coming in who are going to try to run the ball a lot.
Mhm.
Especially since how we're starting to have like a big resurgence on running backs, or at least the running back position is starting to be a little bit more favored than it was previously.
I
So it's
agree.
really exciting to see. But yeah, what he's going to be able to stop.
Yeah, I
So just
completely agree.
with mhm. So just like an all around for him, his whole entire career or his whole college career here for the 3 years he was there. 250, 250 tackles, 17 sacks, 8 forced fumbles with 3 INTs, which is where that vertical comes in really handy there for him.
Mhm.
Um, his 2025 season, he had 70 total tackles with 38 solos and 2 interceptions with 4 sacks. But his previous year in 2024 was really impressive here. 113 total tackles, 59 solos, and then he had 8 sacks and 1 interception that year.
Yeah. No, he's one of those that you know that you're going to get consistency out of. And Anthony Hill is definitely one of my favorites as well. I know it's one of your favorites as well too. He's another one of those you plug and play, and uh, you're not going to be like upset with the kind of turnaround that this guy can give you, especially in Dynasty and then also in NFL as well. He's going to be a tackling machine, I feel like.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I feel like he could. He's one of my favorites, possibly landing with the Jets, in my opinion. I could see
Hmm.
him landing with the Jets. Uh, I wouldn't mind that. There's not much
Hmm.
competition. Um, and I feel like he could kind of rise up and get that really good opportunity to show that he could be a good tackler,
Hmm.
or even getting to the quarterback as well.
Yeah. He's proved it, right? I mean, you look at 17 sacks. So,
Yeah.
all right. We got on there next. We got Jacob Rodriguez. So, maybe a little biased. I really like this kid. He looks like he's gonna. I feel like whatever team picks him up, you're gonna see him like instant improvement on the defense, linebacker side, and I'm excited to see him in the league this year and seeing what he does and who he gets drafted by. His vertical was really good at 38 and a half. His 40 wasn't the greatest. It's a little bit on the slower side, but 4.5 or 4.57 second is pretty good still. Couldn't say anything too much. I disagree with how they have him laid out at a late second. I think he's going to go first round and for sure.
Mhm.
But his total for his years or for his what? I think he was 4 years with Texas Tech, or not 4 years with Texas Tech, but he was there 4 years, I believe.
4 years.
No,
Yep.
5. So he was
Or
there 4 years with Texas Tech, and
oh
he
yeah,
had
yeah.
5 years.
Yep. You're right.
But 315 total tackles, 9 sacks, 13 forced fumbles with 6 interceptions. I think that's just insane. And his last 2 years with Texas Tech were pretty consistent. So he had his 25 season, 128, 63 solos. He had the 1 INT and then 7 forced fumbles. In the 2024 season, 127 total tackles with um with 78 solos and 3 forced fumbles, 5 sacks that year too. So that's where all the sacks pretty much came from was that one year.
Yeah, this dude is like when I talk about Anthony Hill being
Mhm.
the tackling machine, this guy is going to be the tackling machine. I mean, just looking at his stats coming from college, I mean, the amount of play time that
I just said it there.
he did, and and if correct me if I'm wrong, but he also did play on offense too,
He did.
and which is phenomenal for a linebacker to like actually play on offense. That could play a big role for this guy, like learning and knowing what he can see from an offense perspective,
Hmm.
while playing on defense. So like. Yeah, it's crazy to think that they project him later than he should. He should definitely be in the first round. I mean,
I agree.
his solo tackles itself speaks for it way better than my opinion on David Bailey or Sony Styles with the amount of tackling that he has produced and the amount of
Hmm.
forced fumbles that this guy can create. Yeah, so he'll be a major problem, and we've talked about it in our previous episode. I mean, this guy is he's going to be a guy that's going to be uh, a force to be reckoned with.
Okay. So just kind of like looking at some of his stats, going just so I can see his offensive stats, which is he's had 2 carries for 3 yards, 1.5 yards, but he's got 2 touchdowns. So you know he's going to line up as that fullback position or even the running back on the goal line to get you points. And then they're even receiving. His 21 year, he had 8 receptions, 65 yards, 8.1 yards uh per reception. So that's pretty insane.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, knowing the offense
Hmm.
is going to be a huge key for this guy.
Dude,
And
I
anybody
agree.
that has any of the starting dynasty leagues or is currently in a dynasty league and getting ready for this year's draft, this is going to be a guy that you would want to save on your queue, so to speak. Um, and definitely just keep watch of where he lands. I
Hmm.
don't honestly. And I said in the very beginning of this episode, it was hard to kind of like figure out where to land these guys because all of them were good in their own ways, and like I wish, like I want to put him in the S tier, but I also want to know like where he lands at.
Hmm.
But I honestly think that any place that he goes, he's going to be a force. Um,
Agreed.
that you don't want you don't want to be facing.
Mm-mm.
All right, so going
Yeah.
into the B tier, so we're just gonna go down the line. So we have Arvel Reese. I know a lot of people talk about how Arvel Reese is going to be like in the A to S tiers, but honestly, like from what we see from his stats and his highlights, he doesn't have enough to really wow me to say that he is like the guy that's in the top 3 or
Hmm.
top 5 linebackers. Um I yes, he had one interception, or I'm sorry, not one interception, one sack in 2024, but then upped it by 6 in 2025. That's great. That's why like I'm looking at him in the B tier because there's just like there's a small gap that I feel like is he going to be really good or is he not going to be good? And that like it's just,
Hmm.
I feel like he's going to be like hopefully he's on the right team to see what the potential he can create on a and make a difference.
Yeah.
Um and looking at his solo tackles, he had to split that up with Sony Styles because we know that both of them were on the same time or same team at Ohio State. So, you know, let's we ranked Sony Styles in the S tier because of his production. We see Arvel Reese, and Arvel Reese is above Sony Styles. So I just think that like Arvel Reese should be a little bit lower just because of how much production he has made. And I'm not understanding uh why he'd be ranked higher than Sony when there's more of a production from Sony.
Hmm. I think what we're looking at 2 years for Arvell Reese in his time with, of course, Sonny, but or Sonny Styles, and I there's just so much more. I mean, you look at Sonny's 2024 season, 100 total tackles with 49 solos there, 6 sacks compared to Arvel's just 43,
Mhm.
18 solos and 1 sack. Yeah, I would say I'd put Sonny on a higher. That's why I agree with Sonny being on that S tier over Arvel.
Yeah. I mean, granted, Arvel is fast, but
Hmm.
we're looking at so much more than just speed, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, if he's on the right team, he'd be someone that I would 100% like if there's an open window for him to like be that starter, you know, knowing which team he goes to, that just it all depends, and knowing where he lands in like dynasty drafts. And when that time comes when we can actually talk about that, I'm really excited to see how well our tier list looks by the time the draft happens, and then we look at our dynasty tiers and how we rank everybody from this tier to what teams they land on. And they got him comparing to like Jahad Campbell, but Jahad Campbell did much more than uh, what Arvell has done. And I'm not trying to discredit Arvell and the production he has. I think he's going to be a talented linebacker, but just the overall stats that I have seen, I think that the B tier is probably where I would realistically look at him at.
Yeah, I would say so. I hope he surprises us coming in there, so we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's super young too. So going into the draft, he's going to be, 21. Or he's going to be out after the draft. He'll be like 21. So he's a super young linebacker. A lot of time to get even better than what he is now.
So you're gonna have to help me pronounce his last name. I know it's not what we say, but it's Gabe. What?
Ekis.
Gabe Akis. I really enjoyed a lot of his stuff that he did. His
Yeah, Gabe.
40 was really slow, but
Yeah,
good.
no, yeah, no. I'm right there with you. Gabe Akis's 40 was really slow as well.
But I like his kind of his duel. He's that dual. He's outside linebacker slash edge rusher. Matter of fact, I think maybe I kind of overlooked him a little bit. So I started watching a lot of his film. But his 2025 season, he had 43 total tackles, 23 solos, 3 forced fumbles, but 11 sacks that came from him. 20, or sorry, that was his 2025 season. His 2024 season, there was a lot more. You can see he was a little bit less of an edge rusher, I would say, with 47 total tackles, 39 solos, 3 forced fumbles, 8 sacks. And then previous year, just 31 total, 22 solos, and then 4 sacks. So he's definitely playing that edge spot really well.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, no, he definitely fits in that right system, right role, and yeah, I think we did sleep on this guy a little bit, even though he's projected arguably a lot higher than than what we were giving him credit for.
Hmm.
Learning more about how his play style is and the way his stat lines lined up, he's out there hitting the quarterback constantly,
Hmm.
and he's done it ever since 2022. He just got more play time, which gave him even more time to sack the quarterback.
Yeah.
So I that's why we have him in the B tier, just because like he's got the upside of being a legitimate linebacker, 100%. Where he lands at, that's to be determined. And
Hmm.
yes, like I don't even think he did test for the combine. Um, did he? I'm not seeing it.
I think he's one of the few that may have not have.
Yeah, I think he opted out of it. But that's where it's kind of like, what are we going to get out of you now since you didn't, show up? But that's okay. Like we'll to be determined where he goes. And they got him projected in the late second. That's okay. I can agree to that. I can
Yeah.
100% agree to that. Whoever gets him is probably gonna have like a good stud. Um, so we'll see what happens with him. So then next on our B tier, we have let's see, my system.
Josiah Trotter.
Jeremiah Trotter.
Jeremiah Trotter. Is it Jeremiah?
Yep, or Joshua
Okay.
Trotter.
Yeah.
Joshua
Yes.
Trotter. My system can actually load. Here we go. So Joshua Trotter, he had a 4.61 at the 40, which is a 77%. That's okay.
Hmm.
That's about average for the appropriate linebacker slash edge. He's more of a box linebacker, so he's gonna be more of like that lurker type linebacker that will cover like the flats on the field with tight ends or slot receivers, more or less. And that's where
Hmm.
like I feel like a lot of linebackers should want to be at. Um, with him, reason why we ranked him at a B is his tackling, and that's where like I was just talking about. That's a perfect spot for a structured linebacker that sits right there just lurking where the ball is being moved at. And you can't ask for much more than that. And with 2024, he's only played for college 2 years, so 24 he had 37 solo tackles, 93 total. So he was pretty much there a lot of the time. And then he got even more production in 2025 with 43 solo tackles and 2 sacks. He had only had one sack in 2024, but he also had one interception. Um,
Hmm.
Again, this is where I think he is I would say more of like a good sleeper in Dynasty. Um,
Hmm.
he'd be one that I would keep like a favorite on and kind of keep your eye out, depending on where he goes again. Right landing spot. We'll see how that goes. He also, let's see. He's really good at the run defense. So like again, he even though he can do that bit of pass coverage, he's also able to do that run defense. So sitting in that box, just watching where that ball goes, he's on it 70 to 80% of the time.
Hmm.
And really good tackler. They got him as a B, and you got him compared to like Chris Paul, which in college he was really good, and he's on another solid team with a good coach, and Demetrius Knight, another linebacker that's really good and on a solid team as well with the Bengals. Um, he um, the only thing that he kind of lacks in is arm length, so he really has to like reach a little bit harder to get these tackles. Much other than that, there's not much of a big flaw with this guy. So yeah, that's why I got him listed in the B range, and that's where I think that he's in the right spot for it.
All right, we got next Harold Pickens Jr. Parkins, sorry. Oof. Um, he's a good coverage linebacker. Um, really good on the run. He's good on the run stop, and he's good on the pass rush tackles. He's not too bad. Um, I'm sitting here. Once there we go.
Sorry, I'm trying to pull
You're
this up.
good. Okay, so his 40 wasn't too bad. It actually was relatively fast. At a 4.45. Did really good. His vertical is 35 flat, which is really solid. That explains the total of 5 interceptions he's got because of that vertical. But he does excel at sacking the quarterback, kind of that delayed or having that linebacker blitz there. Or and he's got 18 total sacks coming from him in his 4 years with those guys. But his first 2 years in 22 and 23, he had 22 total tackles in the 22 season with 39 solos. In his 23 season, 40 or 74 total tackles with um 43 solos, both with 1 interception those years. His 2024 season, I think he got injured that year, is
Mhm.
why there's really not much there with 16 total tackles, 5 solos, and then nothing else there. And then his final year at 25, 55 total tackles, 23 solos, 4 sacks with 3 INTs that year.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like you said, 2024, he had a bit of a dip. I think what I read was he had a knee injury.
Mhm.
So something you want to watch out for. Yes, he bounced back in 2025 and had a really good productive year. Um, with that being said, um, just keeping like if you like this guy, this is a guy that you want to just kind of watch out for the injuries on. And I've talked about it before with injuries, certain positions, if it's affecting their play style, um, you want to like have a backup or a backup plan. Um, but with this guy, like I mean, having a bounce back year is awesome to show that he can recover really well and come back and put up even almost the exact same numbers as he did in 23 and 22.
So I think the big thing with him, he's got elite straight line speed as for a linebacker. He closes ground really well and he pursues fast. So um natural feeling timing blitzes. So hence the large amount of sacks that he's gotten for a
Mhm.
linebacker. Or yeah.
I agree. That's it from us today. Pigskin Platoon, where football lives.
And hot takes fly like bad trades.
Two voices, one game.
We'll catch you on the next snap.
Thank you for watching and smash that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon so you can catch all of the updates on all football from us. And comment down below and let us know how we did and where we can do better at. We appreciate it and have a good one.